about to listen to the incomparable Win Twice Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Holly. We always go over, brother, and that's the bottom line. Dig it? So, sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained.
WrestleMania 17 is widely considered to be the pinnacle of the Attitude Era, the culmination of the edgy product that was brought about as the result of WCW forcing the hand of Vince McMahon in the Monday Night Wars. Headlining show of such magnitude could be left to none other than the two biggest stars that the generation produced. WWF champion The Rock would look to defend his title against the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. A rivalry that would help define an era would main event a monstrous 11-match card. In the penultimate match of the night, The Undertaker, who by this point was fully in his American Badass phase, would look to push his unbeaten streak to 9-0 as he would take on the Game, Triple H. With the show being held in the Lone Star State, the card was littered with Texas natives. Outside of Austin and Taker being in the top two attractions, WrestleMania also featured Bradshaw as the APA and Taz squared off with the right to censor. Elsewhere, fellow Texan Eddie Guerrero would look to dethrone the European champion Test with a little Latino heat. To kick off the showcase of the Immortals, Intercontinental Champion, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller, Chris Jericho would hope to defend his belt against the WWF Commissioner William Regal. In a match that would sprawl what felt like the entire stadium and very nearly brought the broadcast to a complete halt, Raven would put the hardcore title on the line against two monoliths in Kane and the Big Show. It wouldn't be a WrestleMania without a heavy on-screen presence from the McMahon family, and 17 would be no different, as Vince McMahon would take on his own son in a street fight with special guest referee Mick Foley. With a comatose Linda being wheeled to ringside as the match unfolded, few expected the reaction she would receive at a pivotal moment in the contest. Having made an unforgettable impact since she debuted in the Federation almost 5 years previously, the ninth wonder of the world would have her opportunity to not only unseat Ivory as the Federation's women's champion, but also get a measure of revenge on the right to censor who had shelved China several months before. With the star-studded roster and featured matchups, perhaps none were more anticipated than the triple threat tag team attraction between the Dudleys, Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys for the WWF tag team titles in TLC 2. This match would prove iconic and would live long in the memories of the fans, setting the benchmark for every TLC match that would follow. That isn't to say that WrestleMania 17 didn't have some light-hearted moments, and nothing highlighted this more than the gimmick Battle Royal, with Mean Gene Okerlund and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. Faces and heels from years gone by competed to see who would be number one. There are many that would argue the Federation and WrestleMania would never again reach the same heights they did in 2001. The Attitude Era might have been on the downswing, but it was far from over as we continued into the early noughties, and on the horizon, a red and yellow mustachioed machine would be seen readying himself for a return, brother. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 53 of the Win Twice Wrestling Podcast. Take two we'll call this.
You threw me off, you have.
I threw you off, I threw me off. I said bring the energy, bring the heat, bring the noise, and then I just thought, what a wanker. Yeah. So I stopped talking and then had to do that one all over again. So we've been delayed by about 40 seconds because of that shithousery on my part. But Holly, we are back on a certain journey that we started. We are. January, by the way, we started. Marching. We are marching. We're marching through those manias. Yay. And we actually did start this in January, I'm pretty sure. Wow. I had a look at the episodes. So the first WrestleMania we covered was episode 10. So this is 53. So it's been going on a little while now. But arguably, this is the biggest WrestleMania in terms of being a sweet spot for so many people. Because anyone who grew up, who was around our age, older as well, not really younger, I'd say we're at the kind of the tail end of the Attitude Era of being a certain age to kind of appreciate it, I guess. This to them is like the pinnacle of professional wrestling and kind of their childhood for them. So it felt like WrestleMania 17, sorry, just to be clear, that is the one that we are covering, or X7,
X7
as the cool kids call it,
confusing.
including Howard Finkel being a cool kid. It felt like the culmination of so many things, because there wasn't really, if you look at the roster at the time, it's stacked. This is before they had the WCW influx come in. I mean, we'll touch upon that later, or the lack of star power they had in that arena at the time. So they hadn't had all the WCW boys come across yet, but in terms of a pure WWF roster, this was stacked.
It's a good one, right?
It very good. And also, I mean, I could be doing someone a disservice here. Who was injured? No one was missing from this card. You've got all the key players, whereas every WrestleMania for the last, I'd say, 5 that we've covered has had at least one big name injury that's not on the card. We've seen WrestleManias where Undertaker's not been there.
Oh, that's a shame.
Stone Cold's not been there.
That is a shame.
Well, exactly. I wonder why you say that. Although Stone Cold, I'll be honest, in this show...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it didn't hit it for me.
Hits it for me.
But it's because... I bet he would. But it's because
Joke and dream.
I know what comes from it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, this show to me has got a bit of a special place, not just because of what I mentioned, but because of what it allowed us to do during lockdown.
Yes.
So I've got a bit where I'm going to ask you to talk about that a little bit, but we'll talk about the basis of the show in terms of, so the date was the 1st of April 2001, the venue was the Reliance Astrodome in Houston, Texas.
I've not been there, just to clarify.
Nor have I haven't been to the state, in fact.
I really want to go to Texas.
Yeah, I think I'd like Texas.
Absolutely.
I do think I'd like Texas. I'd fit in with all those, cowboys and all that stuff, yeah. I imagine I'd fit in very well, like a hand in a glove. The attendance of the night was, as they said, 67,925. I saw some empty seats, if I'm being honest.
Do we think it was actually that one?
All I can say is I didn't look into... I'm assuming no. I assume they've pretty much
Is
always...
it a standard WWE? Oh my God, it's a record-breaking number of people.
I couldn't say whether it was record break or not, other than the fact that that's what they announced. But I think when they get to a certain size show, they always throw in more people than was actually there. But I will say that the number they announced, or Howard Finkel announced, does tally up with what it said on Wikipedia. So whether they could both be wrong, to be fair, I'm well aware of the fact that you can kind of manipulate that stuff.
Yes, of course.
But that is what it said. Buy rate. What do you think the buy rate for this show would have been? So bearing in mind, we've seen someone, I think... Some of the recent Manias were like 600,000, 800,000.
I'd assume this one would be pretty high.
If you were having a ballpark figure, what would you guess?
Oh, God. Like a mil?
1,040,000 buys.
Ooh.
That is big.
Yeah.
That is big, big.
Dollar.
Tagline.
Go on. Hit me.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, God.
Yes, and that is on the actual thumbnail as well. So... I've used that for the show poster, even had that written on there. And you'll notice a certain McMahon wearing a shirt that has a play on that phrase as well.
Actually, yes, I did see that.
Oh, good old Shano, but we'll get to him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Holly, to many people, specifically around a similar age to us, this is the best WrestleMania of all time. Now, I know for a fact you've seen this show in the past, but I also know what your memory is like on this stuff as well. Did you remember a lot having watched it back?
No.
I love that. I love that because I think you've seen it twice before this as well.
I have. This is the 3rd time I've seen it. I still don't bloody remember anything.
That's amazing. So I've got a question on it. So did watching wrestling together during the lockdown help, do you think? Because obviously you couldn't see...
Help with lockdown?
Yeah,
yes,
basically.
Because I was going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you're quite, social, to be fair, more so than me. And we would just, to be fair, it didn't actually stop us doing work, but we'd have something on in the background and we would just sync up when we'd play, when we'd pause. Yeah. And I think that massively helped, to be honest, because I think we talked about wrestling a little bit before that, but nothing really beyond. I think you'd signed up to the network because of lockdown, because you had limited other options of things you could do, because there's only so many times you can watch the Kardashians or I don't know, those Hallmark movies that you love so much, about a little bakery, a cowboy that strolls in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lumberjack of some kind. Do you think it was this that, and I don't know if you've ever really given an answer on it, was this what kind of planted a seed in your head to do the podcast?
Ooh.
What moment kind of made you go,
oh, God.
Oh, do you know what? That could be a thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I don't know what it was. I just like the idea of you going, oh, do you know what? Actually.
I just think because we talked about it a lot.
Mm.
And we tended to, like, talk about it, but then also probably, like, banter about it, because our opinions are quite different on some things.
On the attractiveness of Baron Corbin, yes.
Oh, stop it. Leave him alone. And I think that's probably what I thought about. But I don't actually know.
Because I, honestly, as much as I enjoyed watching the stuff with you, and, like, in person we were doing that as well, never crossed my mind as a possible idea. And then you said it, and I thought you were just making a joke. Yeah. And then you made the comment about 2 or 3 more times. I went, oh, you... And that's what I was like, oh, you really want to do something like that?
I don't know what
in my head,
my brain.
In my head, it was just something from, like, watching these shows.
Yeah. And
it made you kind of go, oh, actually. But I don't know. I
don't know. If I took some time and probably thought about it, I could probably get there, but...
Well, that's your homework now.
Oh, thank you. God.
But this... I don't remember many of the other shows we watched, I'll be honest, during lockdown. But I remember this because I remember I picked and you went, oh, God, that's a long show. And I said, there'll be something in this that you'll want to see.
Oh, yes, there was.
And... We might have covered it, actually, in maybe a certain episode number 0. Yeah. The first one that we ever put out there is your match of choosing out of the entire history of professional wrestling in time and space. You picked this match.
That match I've now watched 4 times.
And did you remember all of it?
No.
Love that. I love that. It's like a kind of a clean sweep periodically where your brain just goes, I will take it in as new information again.
I'm sure it's a good thing at this point.
No, I mean, you didn't have much of a boxing career, did you? In terms of, like, you're not going around with some sort of...
I don't think so. I think I just got very bad memory.
I mean, you wouldn't know, to be fair, would you, if you had a boxing career?
I remember important stuff most of the time.
Yes, I'll give you that, actually.
Like dates and birthdays and all that stuff.
When's my birthday?
Yours is in September.
Yeah.
Hang on, it's like the week... the week after you got married? In my head it's like the 11th. I don't know.
2nd.
It's the week before you got married.
Yeah, weeks of the day. That's right. I don't really remember yours May the 19th, so it's fine. That's fine. No, it's fine. I'll just cry about that later.
Oh, sure.
But to be fair, dates for me are awful. Like, I can remember my family's birthday, Em's birthday. Well, I guess she's family. And then very little else outside of that. I can usually remember the time of year, roughly.
Yes.
Like, Niles will always stick in my head because it's the last day of June. So that's easy enough. Yours took a while to get into my head. I always remembered it was May. But then I was like, how do I remember this? And I was like, okay. So my brain went, well, Em's is the 17th. If it was the 18th in December, it'd be a week before Christmas. And then you're right after. Don't know why December plays a part in remembering your birthday, but it does for me. Yeah. Should we dive into the show?
Let's do it.
It's going to be a bit of a monster one, this. I mean, it's a 3-hour 45...
I'll need a refill of water in about 10 minutes.
I mean, you're making pretty good progress on that currently. I am worried about my throat, but yeah, just to fully disclose what we're planning on doing here. Because sometimes the longer episodes, basically more so because of my note-taking and Holly's social... requirements, might be a case where sometimes when the show is so long it has to be split into 2 parts, so you'll still be getting the same amount of footage or audio footage, I guess.
Like the reasoning. Your note-taking, my social life.
Is that not a thing?
No, it's fine, it's just funny.
Okay, but I was going to say it wasn't meant as a dig or anything, but so this one it will be split into 2 parts just because I sense it will be a bit of a monster because there'll be a lot of segueing, I think, throughout the show. The show opening. So the show opens with a video package of an old man sitting in front of a television in what appears to be a barn. On the screen we see old footage of Wrestlemania 1 and a smile creeps onto the face of the viewer. That, I think, was part of the clip you put on, or was it the guy throwing hay?
It was the guy with the hay.
Yeah, okay, and you put that onto Instagram to throw some red herrings out there.
It got a bit boring with everyone guessing straight away what
everyone,
we were
Keith.
watching. So I thought, let's make it well hard, and then I realised, actually, I could have been... The amount of cowboy stuff I watch, I could have been watching anything.
This is true. She said she wanted to make it well hard for those that are keeping track. We now see a couple sat in front of a portable TV in a stable, wearing working overalls, and they're watching Andre and Hogan go face-to-face at WrestleMania 3.
How exciting.
The woman points her finger at the screen and laughs at Andre getting slammed, which seems harsh. She just literally points and laughs, then it goes to the footage, and Andre's getting picked up and dropped down. So I thought, okay, fair enough. Here we go. This is the key bit for you. An old cowboy, moving hay, pauses as he watches the Ultimate Warrior lifting both titles at WrestleMania 6. I'll be honest, I don't think Homie cared about that.
I mean, he was working.
He was.
He's
Also,
got things to do.
it was late in the evening. What's he doing throwing hay in daylight? But
Cowboys' time is,
cowboy time.
Cowboy time.
Is that an
It's
excuse
like
to be
Fergie
late?
time.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's late minute.
Yeah.
Okay, is that a thing?
It's now.
Okay, cowboy time.
Cowboy
All right, cool.
time. I like the sound of it. It's cowboy
I
time.
bet you do. It's cowboy time. So whenever we're going out and you're running late,
Cowboy time.
you're on cowboy time. Okay,
I
cool.
wish.
That could mean many things. We head now to China, not the woman, to get a real sense of just how wide of a reach the Federation has internationally as a street cook, who is holding the same portable TV we saw earlier, I might add.
Oh.
They're supposed to be ahead of the technology curve as well, so I don't know what she's doing. Is watching Yokozuna raise his arms at WrestleMania 9. Not even the right country. And I was looking at the writing, and I felt fairly comfortable thinking it was Chinese, but it could have been Japanese.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, bit of cultural appropriation from the Federation there. And then I think Vince McMahon.
Okay.
Did I blow your mind a little bit there with
liked the
cultural
little,
appropriation?
Appropriation Federation. That
Oh,
sounded good. I like it.
Yeah, that was unintentional. We'll take that as a
Oh.
small win.
On a Sunday morning.
I know, exactly. Two teenage boys, one of whom looked strikingly like Stephen Merchant as a child, are staring through a shop window as Shawn Michaels ziplines his way down to the rafters, or from the rafters, I should say. The clips keep coming, as do the people sitting there watching them, including a young couple who set up shop in the back of a burnt-out Cadillac in an alley. You'd think that fella from Smallville would have a better idea of a first date lined up than that, but hey, who am I to judge? We see a number of shots of Triple H, Austin, Rock, Undertaker, and yes, Holly, even Jeff Hardy.
I know. Happy girl.
I bet you were.
Yes.
The people viewing the clips grow more and more bizarre, including a clown in full makeup and what I originally thought was a widow at a funeral, but realised that was not the case. As the clip fades out, we head to the video graphic opening of the show. As we hear Limp Bizkit serenade us,
Yay.
we're shown gold-toned images of the likes of Chyna, Kurt Angle, this is the woman this time, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Austin and The Rock cut in amongst one another. On a black and gold backdrop, the voiceover now informs us that Snickers Cruncher presents us with the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. Snickers, get some nuts. We're not sponsored by Snickers, but although, hello, oh, you're not a
for me.
Snickers fan.
It's got nuts in it.
Yeah, because nuts make your throat close.
Yes. Sometimes.
Not what I heard. Yeah. Did I write it on the wall of the bathroom myself? Yes, I did. Okay. Good publicising, I thought.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
The show logo appears in a very pleasing golden metallic blue font, and we now head to the arena for the opening fireworks display. Does this environment feel a bit more familiar to you, Holly, with WrestleMania being kind of in a stadium rather than a smaller venue?
Yes. It's a big, it's big. It's a
It
big
is
deal.
big. It is big. Good old... You've started, haven't you?
I can't help it.
Good old JR welcomes us to the biggest sports spectacular of all time, WrestleMania. It's a happening. And alongside him, none other than Paul Heyman. Immediately I'm happy with this pairing. To me, they work better than JR and King, and I will hear nothing against it.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it.
Yeah, really good.
Like these two together.
Really good.
Do.
Paul Heyman is quick to point out that tonight is his first ever WrestleMania, and he cannot wait for the showcase of the Immortals to begin. He's already got the verbiage that Vince likes.
Yeah.
Granddaddy of them all, showcase of the Immortals, irresistible force against the immovable object, although I don't think that's said, but all this kind of grandiose way of describing things.
Yeah.
He's already like a hand in a glove, like I said earlier. Straight into match one.
Yes.
I mean, I say straight into match one. There's 11 fucking matches. Did part of you die a little bit inside when you heard that? Because they said that on commentary, and I went, fuck.
I didn't.
Yeah, she thought that, do you know what? She was so comfortable with how well JR and Paul Heyman worked together, she fucking tuned the bastards out the entire time. Did you get any line of commentary?
I don't know how I don't hear some of this stuff. I'm watching it. I just don't listen.
I reckon, like, you could be watching something, one of them could literally reach forward, tap on the camera and go, Holly, are you paying attention? And you'd go...
I don't know how I'd miss it. I really don't. So no, I didn't know there was 11 matches.
There was 11 matches, can
God.
confirm.
What a div.
And the opener was Chris Jericho versus William Regal for the WWF Intercontinental title.
Yes.
Pleasing way to kick things off, do you think?
Absolutely, for me. Absolutely.
This is Jericho's...
Oh,
okay,
100%.
right. Kicking off the show in the opener is peak form Chris Jericho, who is looking to defend his Intercontinental Championship. The champion coming out first is upsetting, but the reaction he gets makes sense.
Of the two of them, you've got to have him come out first for the pop, like...
To open the show, yes.
Yeah.
Any other place on the card, no.
Yes, agreed.
Kick off the show with the crowd cheering. I kind of agree with that. We see a 2J sign in the crowd as Y apparently fell asleep and missed his cue. God help me, Holly. I bloody love some William Regal, and seeing him make his way down the aisle waving and saying hello is fantastic. Just hello.
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. He's on form tonight, is Mr. Regal.
Oh, isn't he just?
Oh, we'll get to Kamala later, who, by the way, I wrote down Umaga about 15 times because I was thinking Ugandan giant, and then I managed to get Ugandan and Kamala together, and it came out Umaga, who, ironically, Regal would call Umanga.
Oh,
so, there you go. Right, as he does come to the ring, we're shown a video package of the rivalry between Jericho and Regal that has led to this match. Look how bloodshot the Commissioner's eye is here. Looks like a demonic possession. But Chris Jericho did piss in his tea.
Wow, yeah. Pink eye.
Oh, you can't get that with you. Well,
I don't know.
Well,
I'm only messing.
depends where his dinkle's been, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But or he could have just stirred it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't. Why?
Why?
Just punch him in the face.
Oh, I see.
Pissing his tea is a bit of a bitch move. It's funny.
Funny.
It is funny.
It's funny.
It's funny. I don't want someone pissing my... I don't like tea.
Funny.
I mean, I might as well drink piss, to be fair, for as good as tea is. I might be one of the exceptions.
I don't drink hot drinks. So
Well, exactly. But coffee, yeah, okay. We've got flavour. I understand that. Tea is the absence of flavour.
Oh.
So have you've seen Ted Lasso?
No.
Okay, right.
No.
So it's not really a spoiler in any way, shape or form, but Ted Lasso, when he first joins, is offered tea. And he goes, oh, yeah, okay, and then tries and goes, oh, God, no. Is that a joke? Do you do that to foreign people to trick them? Because it's that bad. And I'm like, yeah, I can only assume we do, because I do not understand it.
Okay.
I realised that has just ostracised me from pretty much most of British communities there, but
Well, I'm
I stand
already on
by
the
it.
out because I don't drink any, so...
But coffee, we'll have a conversation. Got no issue with
Okay.
coffee. Regal continues to punish Jericho for undermining his authority, which sees him in a 4-on-1 against the Right to Censor, and then in a handicap tables match against the Dudley Boys. So the only thing Y2J could think of as a suitable retaliation was to piss in Regal's teapot. Regal's face selling this, remarkable.
Perfect.
Remarkable. I
Very
can't
funny,
do
yeah.
it justice, and obviously it doesn't come across
No.
on a podcast, but it was brilliant. During a Regal match, we see Holly's all-time favourite,
I knew you were going to mention this.
Doink the Clown, makes his triumphant return. This time it was a singular doink from behind, but he does use the walls of Jericho to make Regal tap. Wait just a minute. That was Chris Jericho. And the Oscar goes to...
Do you know what? We know how much I hate the Doink the Clown character, but that actually was funny.
Stay tuned, everyone, because it's only going to get better.
Yay.
Y2J smashes a framed picture over what looks to be Thin Balls Mahoney, and William Regal cracks the Canadian with a fire extinguisher. It was Raven. The match begins and Regal opens up with a southpaw strike before whipping Jericho into the buckles. Y2J fires back out and puts the Brit down with a clothesline in immediate response. Whip is reversed by Regal, but he eats a flying forearm and then is the victim of a series of right hands. Regal ducks a clothesline but can't avoid the spinning back heel kick, which puts him down, and he rolls to the floor for some respite. Before he can return, Jericho has slingshotted himself over the top and damn near over Regal as well with a crossbody. Barely catches him. The Canadian cut bacon is also on sale at the Y2J Butchers as chop lands hard, and Regal is dropped sternum first over the barrier.
Oh, bit bacon.
Yeah,
Oh, bit bacon.
on a Sunday morning.
Oh, bacon sarnie.
Are you a brown sauce gal?
I am.
Oh, good girl.
But my bacon is cooked by like a fucking light bulb.
No, unacceptable.
Yeah, no.
To be fair, like, again, we're gonna scratch away at this one a little bit as well. I like bacon,
Right.
no shit, but when it's cooked to look like ham,
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, we're just
Skimmy
we're
ham.
very different, yeah.
I like it to be borderline touch it, shatters.
Oh, no, I hate
Yeah,
that.
oh.
Absolutely not.
to the point where I feel like I reckon if you ask this one, I actually think I might be in the majority on.
Yeah.
If you ask like 50 people how many of them would like it the way you have it and the way I have it, I reckon at least 30 of the 50 would go my way with it.
Probably.
Maybe more. And I think, but when you go to a place and order bacon, you don't have to say don't cook it well. You have to say no, cook it well. Otherwise, you're going to get with like a jelly fat round it, and you're like, oh no. The Brits' chest, that to say, back to the match, the Brits' chest is already very red as they roll back into the ring, and Jericho only adds to... I'm going to read word for word what I've got here, because I do try and like proofread as I go through.
Sure.
The Brits' chest is already very red as they roll back into the ring, and Jericho only adds to arse as he takes flight from the top rope, connecting with a back elbow. Adds to this, is what it's supposed to be. Hook of the leg gets a 2 count. He doesn't add to arse. Corner whip sees Regal slam the brakes on, but as he looks to scoop the leg in a roll, Jericho drops his weight and goes for a pin, only to find that countered into 1 from the challenger. No, Y2J rolls through and has the legs with a view to applying the walls of Jericho. Handful of hair by Regal and some punches help to loosen the grip before he pushes Jericho back into the corner. Back elbow by Y2J and he walks into a kick to the midsection, and Regal follows this up by sending him shoulder first into the ring post.
Take your first drink.
First drink of the night, and it's only in match 1 of 11.
Get tipsy.
Everybody in the club, in fact.
Well remembered.
Thank you. Jaquan?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. It's fine. I will say, though, we don't actually get much more ring post action until the co-main and main, and then be prepared, was all I'm saying.
Just save your bevy to the end.
Yeah, but be prepared to get paralytic at that point. Okay, well, I say you don't get any for a bit. I'll just read the next line here.
Yes.
Back into the ring post goes Jericho.
Another drink.
And the crowd shower Regal with boos as he waves at them. Armlock suplex by the Brit is unique to say the least, but I liked it. Regal goes as though to whip, but snaps down on the arm, flipping Y2J back down to the canvas. Forearm across the face in a cover to get a near fall. I really like the fact he just puts his... Because that's just not going to be pleasant.
No.
Like, it's an added little detail that not many people do. And I always remember thinking, when I saw that younger, I thought, oh, what a shithouse. Like, it looks just so uncomfortable. But it's great. Top wrist lock applied by Regal, and he cleverly positions Jericho down on one knee for a leverage advantage. Y2J fires back, but ducks too early off a whip. However, he does connect with a back elbow when Regal closes the distance a second time. Lion Salt attempt is blocked by the knees, and the challenger gets a 2 count off a schoolboy roll-up. German suplex sees Jericho land on his face, and this very nearly gets a 3. In the corner, Regal is seen removing the top turnbuckle padding before sending the champion shoulder first into the steel on 2 occasions.
And he's just allowed to do this?
Apparently. Well, he's thrown him into it. He hasn't grabbed it and hit him with it.
Okay.
He's just using the advantage of the...
I don't know. I mean, it's fine.
Because surely the ring post...
But, yeah, I don't know.
Is that not the same, like going shoulder first into the ring post?
Yeah, maybe.
Or the steel, like throwing someone into the stairs or the barricade, or...
Yeah.
Yeah? Choking over the rope? Where does the nonsense end?
I don't know. Never.
Well, quite. Stiff kicks to the chest land, but the third is blocked by Jericho, who hits an enziguri in response. The second kick to the back of the head puts Regal down, as does a stiff forearm that follows. From the second rope, Y2J connects with a missile drop kick that earns him a 2. Whip into the buckle sees Y2J miss on the follow-up charge. Regal takes advantage with forearms to the face and then sends Jericho flying with a butterfly suplex from the top. Very nice. Well, butterfly superplex, in fact. Both men are down and referee Tim White begins his count. He only makes it to 2 though, which is the same number as what the challenger gets on his cover attempt. Back suplex attempt sees Jericho land on his feet, and now he has the legs and is looking for the walls of Jericho. Regal fights the grip, and thanks to the injured left shoulder, he breaks the hold. I like that. It works into the injury. Gets a drop toe hold of his own and applies the Regal stretch.
Is that an STF?
It's a variant.
Okay.
Because an STF would be if you were lying down on your front and I grabbed your left leg, bent it backwards, put one leg in the groove of your knee, and then use my other leg to bend it forward and then just pull back on your head. Okay. Whereas Regal stretches them so your legs are locking each other, and then he just puts pressure on the top leg to keep them in place and then pull it. So it's a variant, though.
Bit, but not.
Yes.
Okay.
If you need a demonstration, happy to show you after class.
Thank you.
A bit like that. After all the bacon talk as well. Where are we? The challenger has been busted in the mouth, I noticed, because he seems to have a little trickle of blood coming down from his teeth.
A little bit.
Jericho does eventually grab the bottom rope, causing the submission to be broken. Knees to the face from Regal, but Y2J fires back with a chop, several in fact. Jericho hits the ropes but runs into a kick to the shoulder, but does counter his challenger's attempt and sends Regal face first into the exposed buckle instead. Bulldog connects, suplex connects, and then this bit was weird, because I'm pretty sure you can hear Regal say, "You want to finish?" Because it seems weird to go from the Bulldog to the suplex. I don't know if they kind of changed up how they were going to finish it. But the Lion Salt lands, and we get the 1, 2, 3. Chris Jericho defends his Intercontinental title.
Lovely.
So, yeah, you could just hear Regal ask something like, is this what we're doing? Kind of.
Okay.
But anyway, what did you think of the opener?
Very good match to start with.
Okay.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
2 good people to put out there first. I thought, obviously, you've got the crowd behind Jericho.
Mm-hmm. And Holly, of course.
Of course. Yeah, I really liked it. It wasn't it wasn't massively long.
No,
good
agreed.
Content. Brilliant. Perfect starter for me.
Would you score it?
3.
I scored it 3 as well.
Did you?
I did, but obviously this is one where I was able to get Dave Meltzer's star rating.
Oh my god, I've forgotten that this is even a thing.
Exactly.
It's been so long.
Dave
I'm pretty sure I won't be on par with him for most of this.
I think you'll be close on a couple, but Dave gave this one 2. I think that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
I feel like 2.5 I'd go, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I went 3 as well, because I thought it was just solid. It ticked all the boxes of what I wanted from an opener.
Made me happy.
We head backstage where we see a black stretch limo pull in with a license plate that reads WCW 1. Out of the limo steps Shane McMahon, who 1 month ago announced he purchased WCW. I say 1 month ago, I think it was like a week ago to be fair. Up next, and I guarantee you Holly is happy, we head to the APA's office where we see an antsy Bradshaw bigging up how important WrestleMania is to him being from Texas.
Yeah, I would just put the APA in their office, which is just a door.
Yes.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Jacqueline is with the APA and tells him to calm down, but Bradshaw is on a roll listing off great Texas sporting icons and moments. When he's done, he slaps the beer off the table and says, "Now let's get out there because we got a match!"
What a waste of beer.
Farouk. Well, when you put it like that.
It's so good. It's so good.
What?
It's just so funny. Like, I just could watch their little segments all fucking day.
I thought you meant the Farouk impression. I was like, I don't really want to add that one to the repertoire.
No, I don't know. It's just like tongue-in-cheek. It's very funny.
Yes, I agree. All of them smoking cigars, by the way, for this segment.
Yeah.
Match number 2. They're coming thick and fast.
Yeah.
How you like it? Right to Censor with Stephen Richards. What?
Did you just say how I like it?
I said how we like it,
okay. No, you didn't.
but what? That's
Stop it.
fine.
Carry on.
Right, no, it's in like a quick pace to get through the
sure.
stuff is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not talking. No, okay, it's fine. Right to Censor with Stephen Richards versus Taz with 2 Zs and the APA with Jacqueline. It's now time for Holly's favourite entrance music that signals the arrival of Right to Censor. Warning.
First note. So irritating.
Warning.
Stupid alarm noise. I hate it.
2 of her favourite Attitude Era gimmicks in The Godfather and Val Venus have been demoted to this, and one of her newer favourites in Bull Buchanan.
Livid. Absolutely livid when I realised it was him, because he doesn't look like he did when I last saw him either.
He looks dishevelled because of the hair.
Yeah,
shave it.
Get rid of the hair.
Shave it.
Get rid.
Yeah. We already know you can pull that off.
The last time I saw him, he was looking fit.
Yes, and Holly was dripping through the cone, I assure you.
Now, not so much.
Yeah. Stephen Richards has the microphone. Boo.
Great.
But he only gets as far as, "The Right to Censor has," before he is interrupted by Taz's music.
Brilliant.
I like Taz's music. But then he comes out and it's...
Why has he got sunglasses on?
But not only that, it's just him in WWE. Apart from the Royal Rumble 2000 match with Kurt Angle,
He's not in his tiny pants.
the rest we take away. But because this just doesn't work. And like I said, we've discussed it. We've seen moments where I've gone, this is great. This is wank. Yeah. Like, and it just feels like a meme, like of coming out. Like you feel like someone's gonna go, "It's Taz," and then hit Oompa Loompa as he's walking his way to the ring in this massive arena, and it's just, it doesn't feel right. No. Whereas give me the ECW Taz, I'll take that.
Tiny pants Taz.
Give me tiny pants Taz. Give me ball hugging Taz. That's all I want. Before Taz can make his way to the ring, Val has slipped outside and... Oh, no. Oh, did I just ignore the APA coming out? I did.
Oh, that's sad.
That's fine.
I've made a comment
Go on.
them coming in. Right, Jackie obviously comes with them, right? Why is she fucking running?
Time cue.
Ain't no rush.
Ain't no rush.
Ain't no rush.
Ain't no stopping me. No.
You know when you're just a bit like, why are you running?
Just,
no one else
I don't know,
is.
maybe to get her knockers moving. I don't know.
Maybe. It was just a bit bizarre.
She's also Texan, isn't she?
I don't know.
I think she's from around there. I think that's why they put her with the group for the
yeah.
sake of this.
Makes sense.
It's, yeah. But before Taz can make his way to the ring, then APA come out and they catch up with him because they've got, adult legs. But Val slips out the ring, meets him in the R-way, and they're greeted with right hands. So the brawl has already started.
Yay.
The APA brawl outside with Buchanan and Goodfather, as Taz and Val make their way into the ring, so the match can begin.
Yay.
I've got Wildo here. Wild clothesline attempt is ducked by Taz, and he hits one of his own, sending Val over the top and down to the floor. Richards decides this is his moment to shine and looks to jump Taz from behind, only to be put down by a DDT from Jackie. Val back in, and he takes Taz out and follows him to the floor as Bull and Farouk are now in the squared circle. Apparently Mike Chioda didn't want the match to start with Taz and Val, so he rings the bell at this point instead.
Oh yeah, it's a fair
Why?
point actually.
Why? Let the other two start, who cares? Showing impressive athleticism, Bull leaps to the top rope in a single bound, LA Knight style, and connects with a clothesline after rotating on his way back down.
We know that always impresses me.
It's good, to be fair. Whip is reversed and Farouk hits a power slam for a count of 2. Taz is the legal man, and after delivering a number of right hands, he hits a side suplex variant. Whip reversal allows Bull to land a moderately sized boot to Taz, before tagging Val in for him to offload a number of right hands as the good father holds Taz in position.
How hard is it for you to call him the good father?
Painful. Because my brain still... I've written the good father. My brain... Oh, don't worry, we talk about one of his moves in a minute, which I had to rename for him. He might have given it a new name, but I've christened it something else here. So, hold fire for that as my ankle snaps in two. 2 knees to the... For anyone who didn't hear that, my ankle just made a ridiculous popping noise. 2 knees to the midsection against the ropes is followed by a side Russian leg sweep and a 2 count. Goodfather, now legal, and RTC throw Taz towards the rope. What? Now legal and... Oh yeah, Goodfather now legal, and the RTC throw Taz towards the ropes, but his little legs don't quite carry him all the way, and he bounces awkwardly chest first off the second rope and sort of clatters into Val and falls down.
Doesn't look good, did it?
Doesn't look good. Body slam and leg drop connect from the former pimp, who then knocks Taz off his feet with a shoulder block. Back suplex leads to a near fall. Taz gets whipped into the buckles and nearly makes a meal of that as the Goodfather warms up the chastity train.
Oh, I still called it the hoe train.
Oh, no, chastity train.
I mean, I actually called it the old hoe train.
The old hoe train, so you've got to dig as well. The train pulls into the station, but the following Vader bomb misses, allowing Taz to tag Bradshaw in. Big boot connects, and so does the back elbow before he just about gets Goodfather up and over for a back body drop. That was a bit hairy. Big boot for Bull and a clubbing blow to Val, who have both made their way into the ring. Val manages to duck a clothesline, but his crossbody attempt is caught, and Bradshaw hits the fallaway slam. Always impressive.
So impressive.
Because he doesn't move. He just takes them full force. Yeah. And Val was even...
Not a small guy, is he?
No.
Val, is he?
He did that. I think he's about 6'1", 6'2".
So, it's just impressive.
And also Val did the right thing of pretending to try and fight his way free rather than just going, oh, I'm here now.
Yes. And going limp.
Exactly. Farouk and Bull have a mini brawl before the APA double team Val up into the air and drive him down into the canvas. Super back suplex, easy for me to say, from Bradshaw lands on Val, but the Acolyte cannot capitalise as Bull and the Goodfather are upon him and put him down with a double team powerbomb. Farouk sends Bull to the outside with a right hand and follows him. The chastity train is beginning to take motion, but this time it misses, and instead Bradshaw connects with a brutal clothesline from hell. Hook of the leg, and we get the 1, 2, 3. The APA and Taz win. Holly, what do you think of this shit?
Do you know what? I didn't mind it though, because it wasn't...
Okay.
It wasn't long. It was... We know I'm a APA fan anyway, so it was fine. It wasn't amazing by any means, but it was... I don't know, I didn't mind it at all. Didn't mind it at all. 2. I know, generous, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's a bit strong, that. So Dave scored it 0.5.
Okay.
I would give it 0.75 because it wasn't great.
I do agree it wasn't. But
Taz
it just,
made
for
it
me, he didn't need to be there.
Taz made it look worse. It's horrible to say.
Yeah.
Because, but no, Taz actually made this match worse, which is impressive when Stephen Richards is involved. Just specifically, I like Stevie Richards in the BWO stuff in ECW, fine. That's fine. Do I want to see him in the right censor? No.
He also doesn't make any sense, really, because if you look at him, he's not a small guy either. Like, he's got a great build. But when you stand him next to all these other people, it looks like he looks like a child in comparison to Val Venus, even Godfather, and Bull Buchanan. Like, he looks like a child. Sorry?
Godfather? Who's that?
Stop it, I can't. I'm not calling him Godfather.
Oh, you did, thank you.
I know I over-scored it, but it was an easy watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was saved by the fact it was short. If it had gone longer, my score would have only gone down. But yeah, each to their own. So going from that, the cameras take us outside the stadium to showcase the vast size of the building. After JR does the sell, Heyman does one of his own, but for Snickers Cruncher, the sponsor of WrestleMania. Paulie makes mocking tone when he says "y'all" twice, because that's what they say down here, apparently. He's not wrong, I guess. Back inside, the comatose-looking Linda McMahon is being wheeled along by Trish Stratus through the hallway, and in spite of saying absolutely nothing, this marks Linda McMahon's best promo of all time. Congratulations. Trish was well-oiled.
Always. But yes.
That surprised me. Do you know what I don't like about this era of Trish? Eyebrows.
Tiny.
Hate them.
Yeah.
Hate them. It looks like you've had... you haven't seen Harry Potter, have you? So this reference doesn't make sense. It looks like somebody's done an experiment and then blown their eyebrows off and then have had to draw them back on.
That was the thing, though, back then, wasn't it? It was very skinny eyebrows.
Yeah. Has it gone the other way now, do you think?
It did for a while. Now I think we're just in the middle.
Just like, we can look normal. Yeah, fair enough.
I remember being at school and girls literally I was an overplucker, but...
A what?
Overplucker.
Overplucker?
Yes, but I remember girls at school literally having eyebrows that were like lines.
Yeah, just...
Weird. One girl even literally shaved them off completely.
To draw them back on? Why?
And I was like, oh God, it looks awful.
Was it, I saw someone put, this is going back some, it might have either been Twitter or Instagram quite a while ago.
Okay.
And it said, this woman I think it must have been a tweet out and said, why after watching the football during the day do the guys then watch the football highlights afterwards? You literally watch the match. Yeah. And a guy commented, why do you shave your eyebrows off and draw them back on? You literally already had eyebrows.
That's a good argument, though.
And I was just like,
well done.
Decent. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I mean, very different things, but still decent. Well done. I got lost in Trish's oiliness. Where are we? Trish suddenly comes to a stop at the sound of Stephanie McMahon's voice, and we shortly see the heavily crimped billion-dollar princess, who comments on Trish being a little late. Stephanie leans into her mother and says that she hopes that it's some consolation to her that she has a child that turned out okay. Steph asks Trish if she likes her new jumpsuit that reads "Daddy's Girl." And I immediately say yes. But so does Trish, in fairness.
Weird.
Steph puts in an order of champagne and strawberries with Trish and asks her to crush the ice with her hands and not the spoon, as it's better that way, and I wholeheartedly agree.
That makes no sense.
Trish says she will do that and recommences rolling Linda down the hallway. Again, stellar work from Mrs. McMahon.
Do you know what? We take the piss because she is ridiculous. But I actually have to give her kudos for this. She's got a fucking great poker face.
You'd have been giggling.
I would have been screwed here.
Yeah.
But even later, when obviously we'll talk about it then, so good. Deadpan. How do you do that?
Because
I can't. I would be smiling like an absolute Cheshire cat.
The thing is, it's an absence of charisma. Genuinely, that's what it is.
Right.
And she's now got a position of office, hasn't she, in the new Trump cabinet? So good job. But to be fair, as a public speaker on a topic that she's comfortable with, fine. But she's not wrestling, and she'll be the first to admit that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a talking point in the McMahon documentary. Like, she just doesn't have any of that ability that the rest of them have, at least a modicum of. Even if Shane did say, "Get that attitude out of my face." Match number 3
Yeah.
of 11. Raven versus Big Show versus Kane for the WWF Hardcore title.
Yes.
Well, hey, Holly, look who we have here. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty Flamingo, a.k.a. Johnny Polo, a.k.a. Thin Balls Mahoney, Raven, is on his first WrestleMania. Drink it in.
My first comment says, I know Scott's going to call him Balls Mahoney.
Thin Balls Mahoney.
I'm never going to live that down.
No. He makes his way to the ring with a literal shopping trolley full of goodies that appears to include a Frankenstein toy and some foliage as well. Next up, we have the Big Red Machine, who looks in phenomenal shape.
Doesn't he? God.
It's weird to hear JR refer to him as a young man who may be the future. Was it Knoxville, Tennessee or something? He's got mayor or governor or some shit. Ridiculous. He even scares Paul, who is afraid of nothing, or so he tells us. Unbelievable reception for Kane, who sets his corner pyro off as Raven is cautious about stepping back into the ring. Holly, tell me your thoughts on the loose leather shorts that Mr. Raven is wearing, please.
It works for his look. Do I like him? Not so much.
Do you like his entrance theme? Fucking shit. So shit. It's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the one.
Oh dear. Interesting look though, I'll give him that.
Yeah. A bit dirty.
Yeah.
I think that's the point.
Okay.
Looks a bit dirty. Not a good kind of dirty, if that's where we're going.
Well, it's just
he's not in the list.
I was going to say, because I mean, I know you've had some outliers in the past, so I wondered if he was one of them.
No.
Raven grabs hold of a plastic cutout of a human and twats Kane with it, and the bell sounds. Do we not need Big Show for this?
This really confused me.
It's like
But I wasn't
24/7
mad about
title.
it.
No, it's fine. Kane blocks a shot with a mini road sign and fires back with a right uppercut before running Raven face first into the buckles. Well, it's the Big Show. As the giant slowly ambles his way down to the ring, Kane has pressed Raven above his head in the ring and throws him directly at Show. Fine.
I like that.
I did. The big man catches him and looks to position him for a reverse DDT on the floor, but before he can land the move, Kane has taken flight from the top rope and connects with a clothesline.
Who'd have thought it?
Oh, yeah, I tell you. Very intelligently, Raven hooks the leg on the Big Show and gets a 2 count. Thought that was good.
Yeah.
Big uppercut from Kane sends Raven arse over tea kettle into the fans, and now the combatants make their way through the crowd.
Yay.
Holly is unhappy.
We know I don't like that.
Kane scoops Raven onto his shoulders, but as he turns around, he eats a boot from Big Show. I really wrote that down weirdly, but I actually managed to get my way through that
Very
line.
good.
All right, but I've now drawn attention to it and kind of waylaid the rest of it, but we'll move on. The brawl continues through the fans, and we keep losing sight of the action until one plucky cameraman fights his way through the unwashed masses and gets there just in time to see Show get thrown into a wall by Kane. As Kane treats himself to a leisurely stroll towards the curtains at the side of the building, he's surprised by Raven and the always dangerous baking tray.
Always with the bacon trays.
There's always on hand, aren't they?
Always.
Which cracks him off the head. 3 shots do little to slow Kane down, and he kicks Raven in the gut before making a Raven-shaped dent in the wall backstage. Did you see that? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Dale Winton to come out and shout, "Bring on the wall!" Congratulations for anyone listening that got that reference. Even Holly has not got that reference.
No.
Do you not remember the game show The Wall that he used to do? It was like this big styrofoam bit of wall that would have a shape cut out into it, and the person would have to stand in that shape to make sure that the wall went past them without knocking them into the swimming pool that was behind them.
Oh, I've never...
Dog shit.
Oh, okay.
Dog shit.
I didn't miss anything then.
No, you didn't at all. Stick to Supermarket Sweep. You can't, he's dead. Big Show was caught back up and body slams Kane on some wooden pallets. Raven is quickly trying to back away from the marching Big Show and stumbles over as he does so. Show catches him and throws him into some sort of janitor's cage and then throws the ref in too before joining them and closing the door behind and locking it shut, or trying to lock it shut anyway. Raven tries to clamber up some shelves, although I'm unsure as to what the end goal for that one was, but he's pulled down as Kane just rips the door open with relative ease because he's a fucking monster. Shelves fall over on Raven as Kane strikes Show with Perry Saturn's best mate Moppy before proceeding to punch him over a cart full of crap. You can tell I don't know what was in there.
No.
It's just weird. I have no clue what exactly it was, but Kane breaks something in two when he strikes Show in the arm with it, like faux wood or fake wood of some kind. Raven has found himself some hose piping and begins using it to choke Kane until Kane shoves him through the fencing. Impressive. Now it's Raven's turn to be choked and he's sent into a support girder before getting tossed through a window, and let me tell you, Holly, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
You could hear it in the crowd as well. Like the crowd went, "Oh!" So they're getting obviously fed the footage from backstage. But yeah, really well received. Although I do have a question on that.
Yeah.
So next time we see Raven, he's bleeding on his face. You went back through first on the window.
Yes. Naughty.
Okay. Show's turn to increase the heat as he whips Kane hard into a door, causing it to half break before following him in completely to knock it off its hinges. Big Show shouts he's going to chokeslam Kane right onto the floor, and he drenches the camera with spit in the process. Kane, though, grabs him by the throat and shoves him into a coat rail and a wall. Kane then ends up cracked into a wall before both finally collapse through a third wall. Show looks like he cracks his head off a table on the way down, which can't have felt good.
No.
How is this level of chaos for you at the moment?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Raven is back on the scene and he picks up the table, damaging something overhead before dropping it on Show and stamping away. Raven looks as though he's bleeding, assumingly from going through the window, and he punches a staff member out of the way so he can get onto a caddy to drive away. Show clambers up onto the back and begins choking Raven, who does begin driving until he crashes a short while later off the fencing. Got a story for you, Holly.
Ooh, okay.
Holly,
Yes.
did you know that at this moment Raven nearly shut off the entire power supply in the stadium?
I did actually.
So I've got a bit of an interview that he's done here. But I ruined the greatest spot in the history of Wrestlemania. Alright, calm down, mate. We were supposed to be driving and Big Show's choking while I was driving, and I was supposed to drive all around the building with Kane driving behind us in hot pursuit. What happened was that there was a fence that looked like a wall fence, so I thought if I drove into it and bounced off, it would look cool because I was getting choked by a 400-pound guy. Then I hit the fence, didn't get anything back, and I just fell off the curb. But the best part of it was that I was in with a few millimeters... Oh, fuck me, I'll start that again. Then I hit the fence, didn't get back anything, and I just fell off the curb. But the best part is that I came within millimetres of turning off the power in the entire building, Raven said. At the time of the spot, Raven didn't realise how disastrous his stunt was until a crew worker told him how close he was to cutting the power off to the entire building. One of the crew members came up to me and said, "Do you have any idea how close you came? You were within millimetres of running over the cables that supplied power to the entire building," Raven said. Which is basically just repeating what I read but I copied that verbatim. Could you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be horrendous.
Again, just looking at when Raven said, "Oh, it looked like a reinforced wall." No, it didn't. At no point did it look like you could bounce off it. It looked like the same shit that you fell through a moment ago when Kane fell backwards.
Yeah, I don't really get what he was trying to do. Also, maybe just say, "Oh, I fucked up."
Yeah, I mean, he did.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the logic.
The greatest moment in WrestleMania history. Are we okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or the greatest spot? I don't know about that. Jeff Hardy goes, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
Okay, and many other things. As Raven and Show carry on fighting, Kane jumps into a second cart with the referee and makes chase. Were you doing like the music, like of the comedy stuff?
I liked it though. I like the fact the ref just jumps on the back as well. That's
yes,
very clever.
Yeah, I think does Kane grab him and kind of push him down on the back? Yeah. So, as Raven said, they were supposed to drive all over the arena, but had to change up the plan, which involved Raven getting his leg smacked by the cart being driven by Kane. He was right, it did actually look quite nasty, the spot that they did afterwards.
Yeah.
Because he kind of falls down and then takes the front of it into his knee. And the noise he makes, I'm like, ooh,
yes.
Did that? Yeah. They resume their brawling as they make their way around the arena, with anything and everything being used as a weapon, including Raven himself, who Show drags across a catering table to clear it. Kane tosses a bin at Show and smashes him headfirst off an equipment case that evidently held somebody's salad on it as it explodes on the camera upon impact.
Yeah, and all I'm waiting for is for, when you get like the hand that like wipes the camera. I was waiting for it and it never comes.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Raven goes flying into a whiteboard near what looks to be the gorilla position as the three begin climbing the steps to the entryway. The crowd cheer as they emerge before Raven is dropped with a big headbutt from Show. Flurry of strikes from Kane on Show against one of the electric light displays, but he is put down courtesy of a short-armed clothesline. The Giant picks up Raven and presses high above his head, looking to throw him off the stage. But before he can, a big boot from Kane connects with his jaw, and he and Raven fall through the construction that has been erected next to the main stage area, which explodes. Not satisfied, Kane leaps off after them with an elbow drop on Big Show. He hooks the leg, the ref has zero interest in lying in that chaos, and counts the three off the side of what is left of the set they just broke. Kane is the new hardcore champion. Holly, what do you think?
This match I do remember. As soon as it started, I was like, oh, it's this one.
Why? Okay. Why did this stick out in your memory?
I've seen clips of the whole backstage. It's the golf carts.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
I thought that would be the case.
I didn't mind it. I did think it was good, but my brain goes, if I was there, I'd have been livid.
Yes.
Because you don't see 90% of it.
No, true.
Or you'd be watching it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still scored it higher than, obviously, the last match.
Yep.
2.5.
I give it 2.5 as well. Big Dave, 1.75. Wasn't as big of a fan. Yeah. As far as hardcore matches goes, this one lives in my memory as well. Mm-hmm. As much for the golf cart bit, for me, it's Raven getting thrown through that window. Yeah. That's the bit that sticks. When I think of that match, I think of him getting tossed through that window. And yeah, like you said, in person, you'd be, oh. But then again, you've got so much else on the card. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you go, oh, I'll just take that.
Yeah.
After we see what remains of Big Show and Raven, we head to the locker room where we see friend of the show, Kurt Angle, sat staring at footage of him being locked in the crippler crossface of Benoit, and he does not look a happy bunny.
No.
As he replays the footage, Edge and Christian descend on the scene and tell him to not worry about Benoit, and that after he and Edge win TLC again, they should all go out and celebrate. What a party, eh? Milk for everyone.
Ugh.
I didn't even say that because of you. A very serious sounding Kurt says that as it wasn't an official match, he technically was never made to tap out. Edge doesn't agree with this and goes to challenge, but is shouted down by Kurt, who reiterates his point. As Edge and Christian skulk off, saying they will see him after, Kurt begins replaying the footage once more. From here, we now go to WWF New York in Times Square, and here we see Superfly Jimmy Snuka in a tiger print jacket, thoughts on that, giving the I love you gesture, realising the camera is trained on him.
Yeah. Always looks chaotic in New York.
It does. Well, you've been there, so you know it is chaotic. Yeah, technically I have, but very briefly.
I see.
On my Niagara Falls.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I get a welcome to New York, but doesn't feel like it counts. But technically I have. What do you think of that jacket, though?
Works for him.
So I shouldn't get that.
No. Well, you do you.
Well, I have. But I see your point. I don't think I could quite pull it off. I'm not Polynesian enough. That's the issue with that, isn't it? Back in the arena, a tuxedo-wearing coach is standing in the fans saying how proud the WWF is to have fans from all 50 states and 20 countries in attendance for tonight. He thinks he found the one woman who may have travelled the furthest in Linda, who informs us that she spent 30 hours travelling from Brisbane, Australia, and a big congratulations to you, Linda, but not now, nor will I ever give a single fuck. Get off my screen. Coach gives Linda one chance to send out a message to the world, and she picks the WWF rules as her and her friends begin chanting Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi.
Thank you. The Rock is now shown arriving in the locker room area, getting ready to defend his WWF title against Stone Cold in the main event of the evening. Back into another match. It's keeping that quick pace.
Momentum's going.
Eddie Guerrero with Perry Saturn versus Test for the WWF European title to rule Europe.
Oh, yeah.
This is what was on the line here.
Very happy girl.
Okay, so whose corner were you in for this match?
I wonder.
Was it Test?
Of course it was.
Should be Eddie. I'll take Eddie. That's fine.
I know, but come on.
Now, this is pleasing, Holly. Feels like too long since we've had some Latino heat as Eddie Guerrero makes his way to the ring with Sweet Christ, what is that? Perry Saturn appears to have robbed Scotty 2 Hottie on his way to the ring as he's rocking one of the best hat and moustache combinations I've ever fucking seen.
It's like he's got a lampshade on.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's weird, but it looks like it works.
It does work, yeah.
Weirdly. And for a split second, Holly, I thought you would be Team Eddie until I realised who his opponent was going to be.
Of course.
Before we get to the man himself, we're shown footage of Eddie costing Test a win against X-Pac. X-Pac! Oh, he wasn't on the show.
It's a shame.
Oh, wasn't it just?
What a shame.
And later beating him down. If Holly wasn't already in the corner of Test already, Eddie helping X-Pac has sealed the deal.
Yes.
Pleasingly for Holly, Test has had his hair well and truly sodden for tonight's outing. Test wants to get right in Guerrero's face and lifts the title slightly to remind him who the champ is. The ref stands between them, and as Test walks to his corner, Eddie looks to jump him from behind but finds his right hand blocked. Bell sounds and Test uncorks some right hands of his own as Eddie tries and fails to land his own in return. Off the ropes goes Eddie Guerrero, and Test lifts him high and connects with, what is this move called, Holly?
Oh no. No, I don't know. No, I don't know.
Give up?
Yeah.
Flapjack.
Oh, fuck's sake. Of course it is. Bloody hell.
Big powerbomb follows, and we get a hook of the leg for a count of 2. Eddie, being overwhelmed, rolls to the outside, but Test is out after him. They trade right hands, which Test gets the better of until Eddie rolls back into the ring. Test is wary of Saturn as he climbs back onto the apron, and this allows Guerrero to land a big right hand of his own. In the ring, Test goes face to face. In the ring, Test goes face first into the buckles before Eddie unloads with a big right hand. Corner whip is reversed and Eddie hits hard before finding himself pressed high into the air and drops sternum first on the turnbuckles. I liked that move.
Yes.
Clothesline and a hook of the leg gets another near fall. Back elbow off a whip drops Eddie again, as does a body slam. Test goes to the top but is cut off by Guerrero, who looks to hit a super Hurricane Runner, but Test holds on. Impressive back elbow from the top by Test finds its mark, and we get another 2 count. A number of right hands from Test, but Eddie ducks his charge, and Test winds up caught by the ankle between the top and middle rope.
Yeah.
With Eddie occupying the official's attention, Saturn gets in a few cheap shots, which is just par for the course, you expect it.
Going to happen, yeah.
The referee and Eddie really struggle to free Test from the ropes, and now the action is on the floor. Do you think Test was actually a bit loopy there, or he just didn't want to make it look like he was trying to help?
I don't know. I couldn't work it out because it just didn't look like he actually had a clue what on earth was going on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if he was supposed to get there, because if he fell to the floor, Saturn could still hit him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe not. But it looked actually quite good, actually. I'll say that. Eddie drives Test's knee hard into the mats and stamps away on the joint. Back in the ring, Eddie continues the attack on the knee, and we get an Eddie sucks chant as JR and Heyman talk up the importance of the Guerrero family legacy. Eddie drives his weight into the joint over the ropes and starts firing off right hands. As Test begins to fire back, Guerrero shifts his game plan and leaps into a sleeper hold, making Test carry all of his weight.
Boom.
Test blindly tries to walk towards the ropes, but apparently there is a force field on each and every side of the ring. The Canadian falls to his knees, and Eddie decides to break the hold in favour of being countered on a whip and put down with a tilt-a-well slam. Nice move, though.
Yeah.
Eddie is first to get back up and fires away with right hands, but is soon driven back into the canvas with a tilt-a-well powerbomb. Nice.
Very nice.
Close fall for Test on that one. Corner whip from the big man, but he runs into an elbow on the charge and eats a low blow when trying to apply a full Nelson. In the most ludicrous refereeing flaw I have seen, Saturn slides into the ring in plain view of the referee and hits a twisting fisherman's neck breaker before sliding out once more. Having completely missed all of it, the ref counts the cover for the 1, 2, no. Test kicks out, and Holly cheers.
Yeah.
Brainbuster from Guerrero connects. Impressive. Test is a big boy. It connects beautifully, and he is quickly up top looking for a frog splash. He spots Test move and instead rolls through brilliantly before sliding under a big boot attempt, which I like both of those things.
Yeah.
Eddie can't avoid the kick to the gut though, and Test follows up with a what is this move called, Holly?
I've put a pump handle slam.
Pump handle power slam.
Ooh.
There you go. We'll take that. Saturn is up on the apron but is swiftly punched back down, but it gives Eddie enough time to kick out at 2. Test is teeing up Guerrero, but instead hits Saturn with a big boot before then delivering a heavy one to the challenger as well. Great smack off that boot. Great smack. What's that all about? Test makes the cover, but who should interrupt it? Yes, it's Midwestern barbecuing on a Saturday in June dad, Dean Malenko. Tess pulls Marengo up onto the apron and delivers a right hand which allows Tess to keep an eye on the big screen for when Eddie has a hold of the European title belt, and he turns directly into the gold, hitting him in the face. Guerrero hooks the leg and gets the 1, 2, 3. Eddie Guerrero is your new European champion. Thoughts on the match, though?
Do you know what? I did actually like it.
Mm.
I did like it. I gave it 2.75 again.
Okay.
Because it wasn't like the shenanigans, as I like to say. It didn't go on for too long. I knew something was obviously going to happen because Saturn's there in the first place.
Yeah.
But I feel like they got enough effectively wrestling content in there. Some of the moves were very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. And I like Test, so...
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Oh.
No idea.
Can't think of 6'7" worth of reasons why.
No idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think the two can have a better match than that, I'll be honest. So I'll give you Dave's score. So Dave went with 2.25, and this one I probably, if I don't agree with him exactly, I'll split the difference between you two and go 2.5 because it was fine. Yeah. Dean Malenko dressed like he was remarkable. Yes. Was absolutely remarkable. Big fan of that. Like I said, I can imagine him flipping burgers on the 4th of July. So again, with Saturday, you knew what was going to happen. Of course. It's fine, though. It wasn't... I've not seen anything... The worst I've seen so far is the Right to Censor match, and that had APA, so I'm willing to chalk that one off. Yeah. With that match in the books, we now see a frosted-tipped Michael Cole standing backstage with Mick Foley, who is only about 35 at this point, I want to put out. Cole asks Foley if he can be impartial given his history with Vince McMahon to referee Vince and Shane's street fight. Foley makes a joke of how bad Vince has been to him over the years, including firing him from his role as WWF commissioner. Mick says he will call this one right down the line before making sure to get the cheap pop by saying he will do it right here in Houston, Texas. Thumbs up for the camera, smile, walk off. From here we head to the locker room area where Stone Cold has arrived. He looks deep in thought.
He does. I'm saying nothing.
Why?
I don't need to say anything.
Don't need to say anything, just the smile says it all, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Back in the arena, we hear the entrance music of Kurt Angle as the man himself heads towards the ring with microphone in hand. As he gets halfway there, he addresses the crowd by saying that he's an Olympic hero. He represents all 50 states, but he isn't a big fan of Texas. He mocks the Texas flag for missing another 49 stars. Tonight, Kurt can illustrate a point by going up against Benoit in front of these bull-riding, beer-drinking Texas yeehaws. He will never submit to that man. Angle tells the fans to lose the cowboy hats as they are not 7 years of age any longer. Boo. Yeah, I bet boo. We're at the match. This is the match, for me, that should have been last WrestleMania. Take Jericho out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. Expectation levels?
High.
Yes.
High.
And you couldn't help that, could you?
No.
I didn't bother asking you about the expectation levels before because I know you'd seen it, and I thought there's a chance you might remember bits. Lol.
Yeah.
But this match, we had high hopes.
Absolutely.
For a living. It still doesn't feel right watching a Chris Benoit match, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking forward to seeing this one again. This is the match that should have happened at last year's WrestleMania, as I already mentioned. Heyman shares my sentiment by saying this is the most excited a man can get whilst keeping his clothes on.
Yeah, I did note that down. See, I heard that.
The dirty bits you hear.
Yeah, apparently.
The bell sounds, and the two men never take their eyes off one another. When they engage, they do so both looking for an early advantage, which Angle finds courtesy of an amateur takedown before they jostle for dominant position on the canvas. One counter leads to another, with neither man getting an advantage, and they return to their feet for another stare down. They re-engage and Angle again successfully shoots for the legs, causing Benoit to pull guard. Once more, they are all over one another, looking for a dominant position until they wind up back on their feet. The fans applaud them, and Angle tells them to shut up. Third lock-up results with Benoit being backed into the corner, but the position is reversed. We just about get a clean break, and the two men circle one another. Big double leg takedown sees Angle toss Benoit overhead before looking to secure mount, but as before, neither can hold on to a dominant position for long. They end up being in a human pretzel, but neither have their shoulders to the canvas, so the referee just lies beside them. The two return to their feet, and again the crowd are supportive, although I do now hear an Angle sucks chant.
Yes.
Kurt shoots for an ankle pick and manages to get it, but Benoit is soon looking to lock in the crippler crossface and is only prevented from doing so by Angle making it to the ropes. What do you think of this start, by the way? Because I couldn't work out if you'd have liked it or hated it. I think you'd have liked it, got bored of it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked it to start with, and then I was like, oh, we've done this 3 times now, come on.
Okay. Another Angle takedown again sees Benoit nearly lock in his finish, but Angle gets his foot on the ropes and rolls clear of the ring when the hold is released. Momentary pause before returning, and for a third time, Angle is nearly locked in the crossface.
Yeah, this is where I've gone, okay.
Yep. The ref is admonishing Benoit for not releasing early enough, and Angle sees his opportunity to land a running forearm, thus taking this from an amateur match to a brawl. Benoit is thrown to the outside, and Kurt sends him face first into the barricade and Spanish announce table. Boy, does that table get some action. Benoit is whipped hard into the steel stairs, or steel steps I should say, before being returned into the ring. Suplex from Angle after several stomps earn him a near fall. Back suplex gets the same result. Face first into the buckles for Benoit, and Angle continues with a beatdown in the corner. Elbow to the clavicle from the floor by the Olympian on 2 occasions before he re-enters the ring. Benoit begins firing back from the corner with Canadian crippler chops, but he's caught on a whips reversal and thrown with a belly-to-belly suplex overhead. Nice. Angle takes a moment to woo and celebrate before hitting a second belly-to-belly suplex. Kurt is taking his time and is caught with a short arm clothesline that leaves both men down. I will say as well about this match, this felt like a match for the purists, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like you've got... We talk about your W format. Sorry, I'm taking off the script here a little bit. This show pretty much offers something to everyone, except for... Ironically, a thing that was big in the Attitude Era is TNA. And granted, you get to see Trish, Chyna, who we see later, but it's not overly... Exactly, it's not a selling point. It's not King wanking himself into a blizzard in the booth either. No. But this show does have a little bit, you like this? You've got this match here. Oh, you like this? You've got that. And this was very much for the wrestling fans, like the purists out there. Granted, you could say Jericho and Regal, a little bit towards that, but not quite the same. This one is, Watching this show now, if this was now, this is the match I'd be looking forward to the most, I think.
Okay.
Up there with TLC, anyway.
Yeah.
Back on their feet, and Angle lands some right hands, backing Benoit into the corner, until Benoit lands some strikes of his own. Now Angle is back in control, but Benoit hits a kitchen sink. Back elbow for whip by Benoit gets him a near fall. Snap suplex gets the same result. Chris elevates Angle to the top rope and joins him up there to deliver a lovely superplex that leaves both men down.
Very good.
Yes. Benoit crawls to a cover and Angle just kicks out at 2. Sternum first into the buckles for Angle, and now Benoit delivers 2 German suplexes, but a third is countered with a leg trip. Kurt is looking for the ankle lock, but Benoit makes it to the ropes only to be pulled away. As he's dragged, Benoit rolls forward, sending Kurt to the canvas face first, and he has the lock applied instead. What do you think of this kind of countering and moving and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Angle kicks free but misses with a wild clothesline and is dragged to the canvas in an attempted crippler crossface. Angle prevents the hold from being locked in and turns the position into a pin before applying the crossface himself. Again,
of course,
nice. Benoit's neck is at a nasty angle, really fucking nasty angle. Makes me feel uncomfortable as well, but puts his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Angle now has hold of the legs, but Benoit shoves him right into Jack Doan, sending him flying.
And I knew what was coming next.
Angle misses another clothesline, and now he does get locked in the crossface, causing him to tap out. But the ref is down, and doesn't see the submission. Benoit releases the hold to go and ask the ref what the hell is the matter with him, and opens himself up to an Angle slam. Cover, and the 1, 2, no. Chris gets his shoulder off the canvas. Body slam by Angle, and now he goes up top, but Benoit gets the knees up on the moonsault attempt.
That would have been lovely.
Yes.
It obviously worked, but it was very nice.
Yeah, he gets quite a high arc, doesn't he? The trajectory he takes. Back on his feet, Benoit signals this is over and goes to the top himself, where he takes flight and connects with a flying headbutt. CTE. 1, 2, no. Angle kicks out. Low blow from Angle, but Benoit looks for a pin, which in itself gets countered into a schoolboy pin from Angle, who holds onto the tights for the 1, 2, 3.
It's a very quick finish for me.
I'm glad you said that.
Oh, okay.
What did you think, greater? What did you think of the match?
In hindsight, I think I've scored it too high.
Okay.
I didn't mind it, but I was a little disappointed.
Okay.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I just expected a little bit more, and it was, for me, it was very, you do this, I do this. You do this, I do this. Rope break, rope break, rope break. There wasn't much actual content.
Okay.
Me, if you know what I mean. Like there wasn't
as many suplexes and that kind of stuff that you were expecting. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe a little bit disappointed. Still fine. Like I still liked it, and I still scored it quite high.
Would you score it?
3.
Okay, I think that's fairly low.
Do you?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I think it's higher than that, but I also expected it to be. I thought I've seen this match, so again, I've seen the show like you have, and I've remembered more of it, if I'm honest. But I couldn't remember the specifics of some of the aspects of this match. I thought, after having seen it again for this, I would come away going, I'm expecting to be near 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't near 5 stars. I would score it 4, which is still very good, but weirdly, I've scored something 4 but feel disappointed. Yeah. I feel like I've been cheated.
Yeah.
Because, and it's the ending that really killed it for me. The beginning bit was great. I agree, it went on, even that went on slightly too long for me. Mm-hmm. The countering of each other, great, but I was waiting for big suplex from one, big suplex from the other, near fall. Like, I expected that bit to go on a bit more to then get to the ending, which I wouldn't have minded had, let's say, Benoit looked like he was about to do something.
Yes.
And then, let's say he goes for the headbutt, not in this particular order of events, but he goes for the diving headbutt. He misses. Angle quickly just grabs him up in a small package pin, holds it for the 3, wins like that. So it's not like Benoit was expected to be the victor, but it didn't go his way in the end. So yeah, it's a very odd one for me. I'm glad you felt similar. Mm-hmm. Maybe we didn't agree with the scoring quite the same. I mean, Dave gave it 4.25, so obviously he's enjoyed it as well. Yeah. Closer to my end of things on that, but yeah, I would have really hoped for at least a 4.5, which is greedy because you don't get them too often, if we're being honest. Odd, very odd. And especially considering, because I was thinking this year, right, we've had Jericho involved, that didn't help things, I don't think. Take him out, we'll get what we should have got. And I was like, damn. The cameras now take us backstage, where we see Michael Cole looking to get a few words from William Regal. Regal is wearing a black WrestleMania 17 t-shirt and shorts, and I'm not sure why, but it looks really fucking weird on him.
It does, doesn't it?
Because I'm expecting him either in his pants or in a suit.
Yes.
Nothing in between.
No, agreed.
Regal says to Cole, "What kind of question is that, asking if I'm okay? What the bloody hell has got to do with you, you miserable specimen?" Miserable specimen? Up there.
Brilliant. I love that.
Such a great response. As they turn the corner, Regal looks horrified as Kamala is standing on Regal's desk, holding a framed picture of what looks to be the Queen Mother, as Kim Chi is trying to talk him down. What the bloody hell is this, indeed? Mm-hmm. Apparently Kamala wants Regal to rub the moons on his belly, but the Brit demands that he get off the table and to bugger off as his voice continually cracks. Bugger off! Brilliant. Oh, it's great.
Brilliant.
Great stuff. JR and Heyman make mention of the upcoming Gimmick Battle Royal, and I honestly cannot wait to hear Holly's take on this. We now get a special pep rally video of the WWF superstars visiting military bases to say hello, I guess. Trish was on hand, as she heard a lot of people were demanding some stratisfaction.
Bet they were.
Hey now. We also hear the military men do a special chant for The Undertaker, who is quick to point out that he prefers his bike to the Hummer he was in.
Okay.
Fuck off. They present the Colonel with a special chair, but inform him that the Divas don't come with the chair. Quite frankly, he should have sent it back. But, I mean, who were the Divas? So it was Trish, Lita. And Jackie?
I've got maybe. I've got no idea.
Yeah, that's a shame. We can but dream. Back to the arena we go, and more specifically, we see Kevin Kelly interviewing the victorious Kurt Angle. Kevin congratulates Kurt but says he has to respect Benoit and his abilities after that match. Angle looks at him in disbelief and says he doesn't have to respect anyone. He proved he was better than Benoit. As he continues his tirade, Benoit clatters him from behind and locks him in the crippler crossface, and we see Angle tap for the second time this evening. A herd of officials descend on the scene to force Benoit to break the grip and drag him away. JR and Heyman now shift gears as they send the audience to the promo package for the upcoming Women's Championship match. The RTC are shown allegedly breaking Chyna's neck when she takes a pile driver from Val Venus, and my god does she bounce high off the impact.
Mm-hmm.
Uncomfortable?
Yes.
Looks safe though, didn't it?
Yeah, I just don't like them.
Great delivery. Ivory taunts a cardboard cutout of Chyna after their match at the Royal Rumble saw Chyna re-injure her neck. Ivory is put in a bra and panties match with Trish but refuses to degrade herself and is mocked for it.
Mm-hmm.
So Chyna appears and tears Ivory's clothes off.
Harsh. But fair.
Yep. As Ivory now makes her way to the... I wouldn't have said that had it not been in the American Badass phase, but it is, so therefore I will. As Ivory now makes her way to the ring live, Heyman informs us that Chyna signed an indemnity contract where if Ivory breaks her, she cannot take legal action, but the trade-off was that RTC are banned from ringside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, Ivory isn't the issue.
No.
Women's Championship match.
Mm.
Okay. My comment earlier of this show has a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah.
If you like women's wrestling, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, true.
Because this is, spoiler alert, a glorified squash match, as I think it always probably should have been.
Yeah.
But without having another women's match on the card, it just feels a bit, oh dear.
Yes.
But of course, we're, still in the era that we are, and it's not really given the same prominence, certainly of today.
No.
And even when Trish started to take it like a year and a half from now, when it really started to get some legs under it, before the whole Divas era, which we'll leave for another time, we've got Ivory versus Chyna for the WWF Women's title. Were you expecting good things from this?
Not really, no.
No?
I thought it'd be quick. That was it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You weren't wrong.
No.
Ivory is doing a very good job of making it look as though she is very concerned of the prospect of facing Chyna tonight. The challenger appears on the entryway in a ridiculously strong contender for outfit of the night. Even her hair is tremendous.
Yeah, look good.
Yep.
Really good.
Pyro Cannon is sensational, and again I will say it, she looks like a star.
Yeah. Yeah.
A porn star, which you would later become.
Yeah, of course.
But it's even though the gear isn't this way inclined, I got Wonder Woman vibes.
Yeah,
I think it's from
the
the headband. Okay,
Yeah.
glad you said that.
Yep.
Because, that's exactly what I was picking up from it. JR incorrectly says that this is the first time that Chyna is going for the women's title, but then amends his statement as they did face off for the title at the Royal Rumble. Chyna has a big smile on her face like a shark about to go into a feast. Ivory is crying and hugging the title, saying it is hers. Chyna shoves the ref to one side. Oh, yeah. But when she does, Ivory hits her with the gold from behind and hides the evidence. Ivory begins putting the fire out that is Chyna with her boot and drops an elbow. Now she mounts her back and swings lefts and rights at the back of Chyna's head. Ivory clubs the back of the neck in the corner, but her leg gets caught and Chyna throws her away towards the buckles, where she proceeds to unload with right forearms and boots. Whip and a hip toss from Chyna. 2 hard clotheslines and a back body drop follows. Big powerbomb from Chyna, who is very slow in making the cover. For me, that should be the ending.
Yes.
She places her hands on Ivory's chest, for a cover, but pulls her off the canvas at 2. We haven't seen one of them for a while. We haven't seen a Dean Malenko match, though, having said that. She's not satisfied with her work just yet. Chyna picks her back up to her feet and presses the champion high into the air, gives her a tour of all 4 sides of the ring, then drops her to the canvas. Chyna lazily sits and reclines for a cover, and we get the 1, 2, 3. Chyna is your new WWF Women's Champion.
Yes.
Give me your thoughts on this one.
It was just, obviously it's very predictable, very quick, so it was fine. 1 out of 5. And that 1 is probably actually for Chyna's outfit rather than anything else.
Yeah, that's fair. The powerbomb move, if you want to do the powerbomb and then kick her out at 2, do the powerbomb, pull her up, second powerbomb, go as if you're going to cover, don't even bother, pick her up again, third powerbomb, pin her.
Okay.
The picking her up to drop her looked less impactful than the move that you just did.
Yeah.
So do like a double or triple powerbomb and then pin her.
Okay.
That's what I would have probably requested. Dave wasn't a fan of this one.
No, I'm not surprised.
-1 stars.
Okay.
I would give it 0.25 because it didn't really feel like a match. It's not a nothing, but it's not a something either.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really justify giving it anything higher than that, but it didn't feel right saying 0 stars either. Probably as much as what you said. China's outfit and the whole kind of get up was great. Yeah. And that, seriously, that pyro cannon is the tits.
Yeah, you love that, yeah.
It's great. It really is. The cameras take us backstage to Vince McMahon's locker room where he, Stephanie, Linda and Trish are situated. Vince asks Trish if she's doubled Linda's medication and Trish confirms that she sure did. Vince doesn't want Linda getting overexcited about WrestleMania. Vince reminds Trish to bring Linda down to the ring the moment Shane is completely immobilised. We hear a knock on the door and Michael Cole enters apologising, but he asks for Vince's thoughts on the shocking news last week of Shane buying WCW. Vince says to Michael that if he's looking for shocking, tonight he guarantees he will get shocking. From here, we already saw the women's match. From here, we transition to the Vince and Shane promo package, which includes moments such as Vince declaring he wants a divorce from Linda and the subsequent drugging of his wife. We see Trish getting completely demeaned, and then Trish making out with Vince right in front of her, but no, Holly, that wasn't Vince. That was the Mr. McMahon character.
God, yeah.
There's a difference between the two.
Gross.
Vince would never dream of doing such a thing. Vince is a loyal family man. But Mr. McMahon is a monster. Jekyll and Hyde ass. Shane sees what is happening and instead of giving his dad a hug, like Vince requests, he unloads with a beatdown. Shane is sick and tired of seeing his dad do exactly what he wants when he wants. Vince says he will never forgive Linda for giving birth to Shane. That is probably more true than he would care to admit.
That's sad.
This then leads to Vince announcing he bought WCW, but plot twist, Shane is the one whose name is on the contract. What did you think of this build-up?
I just don't care.
Really?
I don't care. I don't know why. I think it's because it's them.
Okay.
Or him. Vince just annoys me when he puts himself in all of these scenarios to do some really shit acting.
Okay, so you don't think he's a good actor?
No.
Okay.
His shocked face irritates the hell out of me.
Okay, fine. It's overacting.
Yes.
I'll give it that. It's hammy.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
It is hammy. But does The Rock not overact?
Yes, and he annoys me too.
We're putting them in the same category.
You know this. I've said this before.
But we're putting this in the same category.
I wouldn't say they're the same, but it does wind me up.
Okay. You've seen the match. Do you remember anything of the match? Apart from... Okay, right, let me rephrase that.
Oh, okay.
Prior to seeing it for the purpose of this show,
yeah.
Do you have any memories of the match itself?
One.
The ending?
The move, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that might be the case. By any chance, are you warm in here? Because you're fanning yourself down a lot.
Hot. I've literally just come over like well hot, yeah.
Yeah, because I just saw you kind of sitting there kind of fanning yourself.
Yeah, no.
I would say take your jumper off, but I think I know that that's probably not a possibility.
No, I have got something on.
Oh, have you?
But
okay.
It's not for
public consumption.
Yeah, no, it's really not.
I cannot imagine what it is now. I imagine it's just a vest.
I mean, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a very thin one.
Okay, well, I'm just saying the option's there if you need it, because I'm not turning the heating down because it's downstairs.
Oh, no.
To be fair, I don't know what time to be fair, the heating will be going off in a couple of minutes anyway, so it should cool down. And that's just information out there if anyone wants to know what the heating regulation system is in my house in winter.
Until next time, this has been a Win Twice Wrestling production. Peace out.